Finding My Voice, a senior's journey to independence. A story of courage, self-discovery, and reclaiming one's life at 74.
Mother, what are these boxes? Why is the house so empty?
I packed up to move.
Mother, what are you talking about? We were only gone for a week on vacation. What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? I sold the house.
You sold the house. Mother, what are we supposed to do?
Figure it out yourselves, just like you always expected me to.
Introduction.
You're probably wondering what drove me to make such a drastic choice. But before I begin, I hope you'll stay with me through this story. Hello, I'm Betty Patterson, 74 years old, living in a small coastal town in Maine. For 30 years, I worked as a house cleaner and caregiver while raising my son. But I couldn't take it anymore, so I made a choice that changed everything. I used to be just an ordinary grandmother. I lived with my son's family and thought I was happy. Well, I convinced myself I was happy. My days were like clockwork. 5:30 a.m., no alarm needed. I'd wake up automatically to pack my granddaughter's lunches, prepare breakfast, start the laundry, clean every corner of the house. Then off to work, cleaning other people's homes until 5 p.m. Come home to prepare dinner for my family again. Every day was a battle. At first, when my granddaughters would hug me and say, "Thank you, Grandma," my heart would burst with pride. I thought, I'm needed by this family. My existence matters. But something started to change.
When things turned cold.
My daughter-in-law, Sarah, began looking at me differently, speaking to me like I was hired help, not family.
Mom, is the cleaning done? I'm having friends over today. Mom, dinner needs to be ready at exactly 6 p.m. The girls have their activities.
Exactly 6 p.m., not a minute late.
Mom, please wash our clothes separately. We can't have them mixed with, well, you know.
When I heard that, my throat tightened. Living in the same house, but our laundry couldn't even be washed together. I wondered, am I really family in this home? When I'd sit down for a rare moment to watch TV,
Mom, you're being too loud. Could you turn it down? It's so annoying this early.
here I was, bustling around from dawn for the family, taking a brief rest, and I was being told I was annoying. That's when it hit me. I wasn't welcome in this house. I felt like hired help. Actually, hired help would be treated better. At least housekeepers get paid, have set hours, and get days off.
The breaking point.
What hurt most was when I came down with the flu, running a 102-degree fever, barely able to breathe.
Mom, I know you're sick, but what about dinner? Can't you at least make something simple for the kids?
There I was, burning up with fever, gasping for breath, and her concern wasn't my health. It was dinner. I felt tears welling up. Am I even seen as human in this house? Years of cleaning work had destroyed my back. 30 years of crawling around on floors, scrubbing, lifting heavy cleaning supplies and laundry. The doctor said I needed surgery.
David, your mother needs back surgery.
Surgery? How long will she be out?
About a week.
I'll never forget what my son David said next.
Well, how are we going to manage the housework?
It felt like being hit with a hammer. His first concern when hearing about my surgery wasn't my health or safety. It was the housework.
Surgery day. Alone.
I went to the hospital by myself. Changing into the surgical gown, waiting outside the operating room, when a nurse asked with pity in her voice,
"Honey, isn't your family coming? You'll need someone here when you wake up."
"They're busy. I'll be fine on my own." But saying those words made me choke up. At 74, facing the scariest moment of my life, completely alone. The woman in the next bed, her whole family took turns staying with her before surgery. The moment she woke up, Her children and grandchildren rushed in.
Mom, are you okay? Does it hurt? Can I get you some water?
When I woke up from anesthesia, I was alone in an empty room. No one to ask for water. No one to hold my hand. Just staring at the white ceiling, tears streaming down my face, thinking, I truly am alone in this world.
Coming home to reality.
Even coming home was the same story. Barely able to walk with my aching back, taking a taxi home alone. Sarah met me at the door, and the first thing she said wasn't, "How are you feeling?"
Mom, the surgery went well? We were too busy to visit. But you can handle the housework starting tomorrow, right?
My heart sank. Less than 24 hours after back surgery, and her concern was housework. Sarah, the doctor said I shouldn't do any heavy work for a month.
A month? What are we supposed to do for a month? Do we have to hire a cleaning service? That'll cost a fortune.
I had surgery, and you're worried about the cost of temporary help? That's when it truly hit me. I really am just unpaid household staff.
Overhearing the truth.
The most heartbreaking moment was when I accidentally overheard Sarah and David talking. I was heading to the bathroom when I heard voices from the living room.
Honey, I feel like your mother is really limiting our lifestyle.
I froze in place.
Yeah, I can't invite friends over freely. We can't go out to dinner without feeling guilty. And she's always interfering with everything.
Interfering? Was helping with homework interfering? Making soup when someone was sick? Cooking birthday breakfast? Was that interfering?
It's getting difficult. Honestly, we'd be so much freer without her.
What about assisted living? I heard there are some nice places these days.
I'd been going to more doctor appointments lately for various aches and pains. I guess I'd become a burden to them. Hearing their true feelings, that I was preventing them from being free, my legs gave out, and I had to lean against the wall. For 20 years, I'd given everything to this family, and I was just a burden blocking their freedom.
The final straw.
The next week, David announced brightly,
Mom, we're planning a family trip to the beach, just for a long weekend.
With my last bit of hope, I asked,
Am I coming too? Mom, you should rest at home. This is just for our immediate family.
Immediate family? Those two words pierced my heart like daggers. After 20 years of living together, wasn't I immediate family? That's when something inside me snapped, probably my heart. Fine. If you want to treat me like hired help and send me to assisted living, then I'll leave this house first.
Taking control.
The day they left for their beach vacation, watching them disappear through the front door, I made a quiet promise to myself. Enough. I've endured enough. For 74 years, I've been someone's mother, someone's grandmother, living only for others. Now it's time to live as Betty Patterson, what I want to do, how I want to live. With the house empty, I realized how truly isolated I'd become. Opening the refrigerator, there wasn't a single thing I enjoyed eating, just kids' yogurt, juice, and snacks. Looking at my room, it was pathetic, the smallest, darkest room in the house. Even in the living room, my spot was predetermined, the uncomfortable end of the sofa. I thought, this is my house, isn't it? Why am I living like a guest, walking on eggshells? This house, I bought it with 30 years of cleaning other people's homes. After my husband died, raising David alone, scrubbing floors and cooking for other families, saving penny by penny. But when David married and Sarah moved in, somehow I became the one who felt like she was imposing. Sarah's words echoed in my mind.
Mom, clean every day. Mom, dinner at exactly 6 p.m. Mom, wash our clothes separately.
Like I was hired help, worse than hired help. At least they get paid. I made my decision. If they want to treat me like help and ship me off to assisted living, I'll become independent first.
The phone call that changed everything.
The next morning, my hands shaking but my resolve firm, I called a realtor. Hello, I'd like to sell my house. A 3-bedroom house. I want a quick sale. The realtor came that afternoon. Walking through the house, he seemed impressed.
It's older, but you can tell it's been lovingly maintained. For a quick sale, we'd need to price below market, but this neighborhood is in high demand. I think we can sell within a week.
Perfect. Sell it quickly.
Does your family know about this?
My heart raced, but I answered confidently, "It's my house. I'll handle it myself." At 74, I'd never made such a big decision alone, but strangely, I felt relieved. Now I'm really going to live my own life.
Finding freedom.
Fortunately, within 3 days, we had buyers, a young newlywed couple who fell in love with the house.
Ma'am, you must have been happy here. We're going to be so happy, too.
Happy? I wasn't sure. Maybe at first, when David got married and I could live with my granddaughters. But gradually, my place in this house had shrunk smaller and smaller. Yes, be happy here. I quietly began packing for my move. I called my old friend Helen. "Helen, I'm moving to the coast."
Suddenly? What about David and the family?
"I'm going to try living alone."
Betty, did something happen?
Helen had been my friend for 50 years, so she sensed something immediately. I told her everything, how I'd been living, how lonely I'd felt, why I'd made this decision.
Good for you, Betty. You should have done this years ago. My cousin lives in a coastal town in Maine. There are lovely little houses near the ocean. Let me look into it.
Having Helen's support made me feel stronger. The thought of moving to the coast excited me, walking by the ocean, breathing sea air, living without constantly watching for others' reactions, doing what I wanted for once.
The confrontation.
On the 4th day, I got word that David's family was returning from vacation. I finished packing. My belongings fit in just a few boxes. The moving truck was scheduled. Finally, David's family came home. The girls ran in calling,
"Grandma, we're back. The beach was amazing."
but seeing me sitting calmly in the living room with boxes everywhere, they sensed something was different. Sarah spoke first, dragging her suitcase, looking confused.
Mom, what are these boxes?
That was my moment. I packed to move.
Move? Where?
The coast, moving tomorrow morning. David and Sarah's faces went pale.
Mom, what are you talking about? We were only gone a week. What's this about?
I sold the house.
You sold the house?
David sank onto the sofa in shock. Sarah said frantically,
Mom, what are we supposed to do?
That's when I let out 30 years of pent-up emotion. Figure it out yourselves, just like you always expected me to.
Mom, how can we suddenly move? Where will we go?
You said you wanted independence. Now you can truly be independent. Sarah got angry.
When did we ever tell you to leave?
You didn't? But what about planning to put me in assisted living? What about telling me to clean daily, wash clothes separately, have dinner at exactly 6 p.m.? Finally, they had nothing to say. They remembered how they'd been treating me. I continued. And by the way, this house, I bought it with 30 years of house cleaning wages. I raised David alone, putting money away each month, skipping new clothes, saving every penny. You just moved in. Did you ever pay utilities, gas, or maintenance fees, even once? Sarah stammered.
You said you didn't want us to pay?
When did I say that? You made it clear you hated talking about money, so I gave up asking. It was true. Early in their marriage, when I'd tried discussing shared expenses, Sarah had said,
Mom, it's uncomfortable talking about money like that.
and seemed offended, so I'd stopped bringing it up. You thought it was natural that I'd work from dawn to night, taking care of all of you. Cleaning, laundry, cooking, watching the children. Do you know how much all that would cost if you hired people? David said quietly.
Mom, we were grateful.
Really grateful. Then why did you treat me like hired help? And what about the assisted living talk? When I was alone in the hospital after surgery, where were you? Too busy, right? Both of them had nothing to say. Then I delivered my final blow. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. You need to be out by Friday. That's when the new owners move in.
Friday? That's too soon. That's not fair.
Sarah shouted,
Where are we supposed to go?
Where do you think? You have family. Sarah, your parents have that big house. I'm starting over at 74. You young folks can certainly figure something out. In that moment, all the stress from those long years lifted at once. I felt like I could breathe freely. The granddaughters looked at me quietly, confused by seeing Grandma so different from usual.
Grandma, are you really moving to the coast?
Yes. Then Sarah interrupted again.
Mom, what about the children? How confusing will this be for them?
Children's welfare? After all those years of using the children as an excuse to make me work harder, now she was concerned about their welfare? The children's confusion comes from you disrespecting Grandma all this time. They probably thought Grandma was just a piece of furniture that belonged in the house. David hung his head.
Mom, we were wrong. Can't you reconsider?
It's too late. Actually, part of me was still hoping they'd sincerely apologize and ask me to stay, but David's next words made me firm in my resolve.
What about the money from the house sale?
The money. That's what it was really about. Not concern for me, concern about the money. It's my money, so I'll spend it as I choose. I'll buy a small house on the coast and live comfortably with what's left. Then Sarah made one final comment.
Mom, you're being really selfish.
Selfish? At 74, that was the first time anyone had ever called me that. Me? Selfish? After living my entire life for others? You're right. I am being selfish. And I'm going to keep being selfish. I've lived 74 years for other people. I'm going to spend whatever time I have left living for myself.
New beginnings.
That night, I slept deeply for the first time in 20 years. After pouring out everything I'd held inside, my heart felt strangely relieved and peaceful. Moving day morning, I woke at 5 a.m., 20 years of habit. But today was different. I didn't need to take care of anyone. For the first time in my life, I had a morning that was entirely my own. I sat slowly with coffee, reflecting on my life. I'd never had such a leisurely coffee break, always rushing from dawn, taking care of everyone else. The movers arrived at 7 a.m. It didn't take long. My possessions fit in just a few boxes after 30 years. The mover was surprised.
Ma'am, you don't have much stuff for someone who's lived here 30 years.
That comment stung. I really hadn't bought anything for myself all those years. Everything was for the family. I didn't buy much for myself. It was all for the family.
Oh, I see. Well, now you can start doing things you want to do. Life's short, you know.
Life is short. After living 74 years, I finally understood what that meant. David's family stood awkwardly around. The atmosphere had been frozen since our confrontation. Sarah couldn't even look me in the eye.
Mom, are you really going?
Yes.
I'll call you.
Do that? That was it. After all those years of giving everything to my son, our goodbye was that simple. It made me realize again how invisible I'd become in this house. The granddaughters hugged me tearfully.
We'll miss you, Grandma.
Tears came to my eyes. These children would miss not me, but everything I did for them. The packed lunches, the soup when they were sick, help with homework. I'll miss you too. But Grandma is going to be happy now, so you should be happy too. I felt bad about leaving the children, but this time I had to put myself first. Finally, I got in the car with my dog Buddy. My friend Helen had decided to come help me move. At 74, the only real allies I had were this friend and my dog.
Betty, you okay?
Yes, for the first time, I'm truly free. As we drove away, I looked back at the house I'd lived in for 30 years, growing smaller in the distance. Strangely, I didn't feel sad. Instead, I felt relief, finally escaping from that prison.
Life by the sea.
Driving on the highway, looking out the window at green mountains and blue sky stretching endlessly. Helen, the world is so big.
Betty, you were trapped in too small a space for too long.
3 hours later, we arrived at the coastal town. Getting out of the car, the smell of salt air hit me. I hadn't smelled the ocean in 20 years. The new house was even prettier than in photos. Small but cozy, and most importantly, it was mine. Opening the windows, I could see the ocean. Wow, it's beautiful. My house, really my house. Buddy seemed excited too, running around the house. Had he also been living carefully, reading the room? Helen had stocked the refrigerator.
Betty, I got you some groceries to start with.
Thank you. I don't know what I would have done without you.
Don't be silly. 50 years of friendship. You don't thank someone for this.
50 years. Such a long time. She'd been the only person by my side all these years. That first night in my new house, I fell asleep alone. I could hear ocean waves. At first it seemed strange, but listening longer, it sounded like a lullaby. I remembered the sounds I used to hear at night. Sarah's complaints, David's sighs, the children's whining. Instead of those sounds, I could now fall asleep to peaceful ocean waves.
Finding community.
The next morning, I woke early and went to the beach with Buddy. First time at the ocean, he ran around wildly, and I found myself laughing. Looking at the endless blue ocean, my heart felt light. How cramped had my life been? Watching waves roll in and out, I thought, I want to live like those waves now, free and natural. Walking along the beach, I met a neighbor.
Oh, you must be the new resident.
Yes, I moved in yesterday.
Wonderful. It's lovely living here. The air is fresh and people are friendly.
It had been so long since someone said something genuinely kind to me.
Do you live alone?
Yes, with my dog.
Same here. Most of us here live alone. Do you get lonely?
Not at all. Actually, I feel freer this way.
How wonderful. I wish I had your attitude.
Even though we'd just met, she understood and encouraged me. In my old apartment building, neighbors only knew me as someone's grandmother. Going home, I made my first meal entirely for myself. Fluffy scrambled eggs, a perfectly golden grilled cheese sandwich, and a warm bowl of chicken noodle soup. Simple comfort foods, but all things I truly loved. Even eating alone, it was more delicious than I'd expected. For years, I'd always heard, "This is too bland. I don't like crusts. Can't you make something different?" And cooked for everyone else's preferences. Making exactly what I craved made me surprisingly happy. In the afternoon, I went to the local market, a small, friendly place. The fish vendor was welcoming.
Living alone, I see.
Yes, I moved here recently.
Lots of women living alone these days. They all seem to live freely.
Those words sounded so positive. I'd always thought living alone meant being lonely and sad, but now I realized it could mean freedom and dignity. Walking home, I thought, people accept me as I am. I'd always been someone's mother, someone's grandmother, someone's helper, but here I was, just Betty Patterson. That night, looking at the ocean, I made a promise. From now on, I'll live as Betty. I've lived 74 years for others. I'll spend my remaining time truly for myself. And I whispered to myself, you've been through so much, Betty. Now let's really live your own life. For the first time in 74 years, I felt like I'd completely reclaimed my own name.
Unexpected visitors.
3 months after moving to the coast, David suddenly showed up.
Mom!
Opening the door, there was David. He looked much thinner and worn down. Why did you come? You didn't call first.
Mom, I'm sorry. I missed you.
I let him in and made tea. David kept fidgeting.
Mom, this place is really nice. Ocean view, fresh air. Yes, I like it. Don't you get bored?
Not at all. I stay busy every day. Finally, David opened up.
Mom, we're really struggling. Living at Sarah's parents' house is so uncomfortable. Her mother complains constantly, and the kids are having trouble adjusting.
It sounded like Sarah's mother didn't want her daughter's family suddenly moving in.
Mom, I think I finally understand a little of how you felt. Sarah's mother asks every morning when we're leaving.
Hearing that, my feelings were complex. Part of me thought, finally, you understand. And part of me felt sorry for my son, but I wasn't shaken like before. What about Sarah?
She's changed a lot, too. She says she's sorry for how she treated you. She talks about you every day.
I see.
The kids are having a hard time without Grandma, too.
David started crying.
Mom, I'm really sorry. We took everything you did for granted. Now that I'm experiencing it myself, I realize how amazing you were.
I remained calm. Good that you realize it now.
Mom, would you consider coming back?
No.
What if we moved here to live with you?
I had to laugh. David, you still don't get it. I like living alone now. I'm not taking care of anyone anymore. You can visit sometimes. If you really want to honor me, live well on your own. That's the best way to show respect. David hung his head.
Setting boundaries.
That evening, I made him my famous beef stew, the recipe I'd perfected over decades, with tender chunks of beef, carrots, and potatoes simmered slowly in rich broth.
Mom, this stew is incredible.
Good.
It tastes exactly like when I was little. I've missed this so much. No one makes it like you do.
David ate the stew with tears in his eyes, going back for seconds and then thirds. Doesn't Sarah cook?
She tries, but it's not like your cooking. And lately, her mother does the cooking, but it doesn't suit my taste.
I see.
Mom, you look so happy here. I've never seen this expression on your face before.
I am. Then I said clearly, David, I'm going to live my own life now. I won't interfere in your affairs, and you shouldn't interfere in mine. We can stay in touch occasionally, but don't try to control me like before. I won't sacrifice myself for you anymore. This is better for both of us. David nodded.
I understand, Mom. I'm really sorry.
Show your apologies through actions. Live well with your family. That's what I want to see. I drew clear boundaries. Having feelings didn't mean we could go back to the old ways. I'd reclaimed my name completely for the first time in 74 years.
Life now.
It's been 6 months since I moved to the coast. Every day, I walk the beach with Buddy, tend my small garden, chat over tea with neighbor ladies, and live a simple but happy life. David calls once a week now. He's definitely changed. Recently, my granddaughters sent a letter.
We miss you, Grandma. Can we visit during summer vacation?
Reading it, I had mixed feelings. I missed the children, but I couldn't go back to the old ways. So I replied, I miss you too. But if you visit just for one day, and Mom and Dad must come with you. Sarah probably wanted to send the kids to stay with me during vacation, but I won't play that role anymore. I miss my granddaughters, but my new life is more precious. Looking at the ocean every day, I think, from now on, live as Betty Patterson, not as someone's mother or someone's grandmother, just as Betty. If you've had similar experiences or need courage for a difficult moment, please share in the comments. Let's support each other. Life is really short, too short to live only for others. What truly matters is whether you're happy, whether you're living the life you want. This moment could be the start of a new chapter in your life. Remember, you have the right to be happy, you have the right to live for yourself, and it's never too late to start. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope you all find happiness. Until next time, take care.